All right, kind of continuing the conversation. We are back to school and we are getting our Canvas courses ready. We've already cross-listed. So we've taken all the sections that we have of a course and combined them into a single course. Now, there's lots of different ways you can do that, right? Maybe you take only your A day courses and put them into a single course, and then your B day are in a separate one. And then you can use copy and you can use send to and all those other features to share materials. Do that in the way that makes the most sense for you and your workflow. But cross list is such a time saver, so I strongly encourage it. So I've done that. The next thing that I want to do that's a huge time saver is I want to import content that I have into this new course. So maybe this is the first year I'm teaching US history, but I've been working on stuff in my sandbox and I want to import that into this course. Or the majority of us are going to be in the situation where I taught US history last year and I simply want to take my 25-26 US history course and I want to import that into my 26-27 US history course. Okay, so that's the one I'm going to demonstrate. The process of importing, though, is the same. So to do that, I'm going to go into my US history course to start, and you can see completely empty, nothing is there, it's blank. I haven't even really played with my settings yet. We'll do that separately. So what I want to do though is I want to get my content in here. So I'm going to come over here to my options along the right-hand side and I'm going to choose to import existing content. Okay. And I'm going to, under select content type, I'm going to copy an entire Canvas course. And now I have to search for a course. This can kind of get a little like in the weeds here, but I'm just going to start by searching US history. And I mean, look we're going back to like 2021 and Greg Glenn there. But if I just start scrolling down here through, at some point in the not very distant future, I should see Gorange. There we go. Okay, so that's my 24-25. I don't want that. Let me keep going. There we go. I want my 25-26 US history. So a little bit of digging, but you're going to find what you want. So there it is. Okay. So step 1, copy a Canvas course. Step 2, find the course that you want. Here's where you can make some adjustments. And so this is why, yes, you're going to use this at the start of the year to bring in a huge bulk import of content, but you can also use this at various points throughout the year to select really specific small bits of content from, say, another teacher or from your sandbox or whatever it might be. But it's the start of the school year, so you're very likely going to do an all content import. And I'm going to add this to my import queue. There's a really, really good chance this is going to take a minute here. And so I'm going to get rid of this here. And I'm going to just let this work in the background. So I'm doing a complete course copy for my 25-26. And I'm going to let this work in the background. And then we're going to come back and see what it looks like when it's all done. Okay, I am resuming. So this is done. To give you a sense of how long it took, I started this at 12:30 and it's now 12:35. So it took 5 minutes for it to import my last year US history course into the current year. Now, I had some issues, so please don't panic. If you have some issues, that's going to be common, and it's usually things that it's like, oh, well, let's look at the ones I had. So missing a page or missing an assignment description, and usually those are links to assignments that maybe no longer exist. But I look at all of these and I'm like, okay, I can solve those. Like those I'll solve. In fact, for whatever reason, my Unit 7 must be a hot mess, right? So I need to do some improvement there in tying a bow around those things. And that's a problem for future me. But I'm going to close this and I am going to go ahead and take a look at what my course looks like now. So when we first looked at this, this was completely empty. And you can see even up to like a latest announcement is still there. And here is all of my, let's go ahead and collapse all of these. Even so much as, and I'm going to talk about this, step number 3 is your settings. And what I would say is one of the more important settings we're going to talk about is let's make sure that when you choose your home page, you set it up as your modules. And this already imported that setting into this so that my home page is my modules. And here is all my content from last year. So I'm done. And now I can start to build, I guess, if you will, on the work that I have already done. And I can just update this for 26, 27. Okay. So I did a full course import. This is something you're going to do at the start of the year. But remember that sort of action I did of importing, that can be used throughout the year for various reasons. As always, if you need any help with that, please make sure and let me know. I'm happy to sit down with you and walk through it. Thanks.